Yeah, loco, you still gotta, you still gotta do another 10,000, a whole another 100,000 in the same technique, right? Because even if you start 100% skill, right? As far as skill involves, nigga, your efficiency, as far as, nigga, your attention to detail, you know what I'm saying, your persistence, you know what I mean? Determination, right? Because you got determination and you got persistence, right? Determination means that no matter what happened, you still gonna try and try and try again, even if you aren't as persistent in your attempts. As far as persistence means that as soon as you can is persistence. It's not even so much as you can, right? Because that's also determination, right? But persistence means that you're gaining energy, you're charging in your advancement, you are increasing in your velocity, right? And that becomes much more challenging because, of course, you know what I mean, depending on your structure, whatever your vehicle is, that could be your mind in itself, that could be your body in itself, that could be the relationship in itself, that could be, you know what I mean, the actual art form that it is that you're attempting, could be the actual vehicle that you're increasing this particular velocity in. Yes? As far as the persistence, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, what's enough? It's still people out here hungry, cuz. What's enough, nigga? It's still famine, homie. Right? What's enough, my nigga? You understand me? It's still fucking homelessness, nigga. What's enough? Okay? Aside from disease, aside from fucking obesity, aside from climate, aside from fucking crime, nigga. Fuck all of that. We as beings, humans, from the very dust that gives us this light and love and life, are not even connecting, are not connected completely to start to increase anything, to start to accelerate at all. And that's by no accident. No. Because before that word, before that written word, that is, I'm going to reiterate this to us. Because before that written word, because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. In the beginning was God, and God was the Word. It's speaking of the written word. It's not actually speaking of the written word, but that's what it is that they're saying, in saying it at all. Because first of all, ain't nobody said it to you, because then you will be able to, with your soul, see what they're saying and feel what they mean in your own growth through doing, right? As opposed to saying. No, it's something that you would have had to read. And now some people are saying, based on the fact that they or others that they have spoken with have read. Written on motherfucking paper, nigga. That written word. Cuz. All right. So, as far as, before that, wasn't no motherfucking starvation, nigga. Wasn't no homelessness, nigga. Niggas was building pyramids, nigga. All around the world, cuz. Niggas was moving 100-ton stones, nigga. Chiseling them into fucking miraculous, marvelous art, nigga. Together as one, nigga. Fed, focused, nigga. Before that written word, nigga. So as far as like what you want and what you think you want, be thinking, right? Because you know within your soul what it is that you first of all need, and it's not no motherfucking printed ass money, which will buy you what? Life. They're not gonna buy happiness. Don't get me wrong, look, nigga, with money in my pocket, I seem to be a lot happier. But that's not always the case, and it's not determinant on that. It's just that I'm a little bit more free to be happier and not so as focused. Because, of course, I can now pick up my momentum, and that in itself, for me, is enjoyable, nigga, is an enjoyment for me, right? Because if I ain't got to worry about having to stop what I'm doing, then I can do it a little differently. You know what I mean? Just as far as universally speaking, as far as just, practically speaking, wisely. You know what I mean? It's not about, well, should do it, nigga, do it to the fullest until you can't do it. No, it ain't about what the fuck I can't do, nigga. Ain't a fucking thing I can't do, I'll choose to do, nigga. And until I sign over that right, until I relinquish that right, family, by doing some shit that I shouldn't do. For one, by not doing what it is that I should do. For two, until I sign over that right to the ethers, nigga, to the law of nature, nigga, regardless if the police is there to catch me or not, cuz it's a situation for real, right? And so it's layered, okay? Layered in the law, of course. There's levels and layers to the law and the litigation, nigga, the stipulations, nigga. All right? The ranges, yes? So don't get me wrong. I'm at a particular angle myself. I'm always at particular angles, as we all are. There's 360 degrees, right? And from one angle of the 360 degrees, whatever that degree happens to be on in this rotation, in this revolution, whatever that one angle, whatever degree that one angle happens to be on out of the 360 degrees and 360 angles, but angles are connected to other degrees, right? An angle is a degree in reference to another degree, yes. Whether it's another person, another place, another thing, or your own self or decisions and assorted actions as far as different degrees within the 360 of each instance or each fucking reference, yes? Whatever it is that you're applying it to. It always relates to its stark polar contrast, and that is the referencing instance or fucking angle, basically, because an angle is in relation to a degree. And a degree is in relation to what? A circumference. Man. I mean, come now. We speaking. We talking about it, nigga. Circumference, nigga. A circumference, nigga, is what, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Is it inclusion? Yes. Or an exclusion? It's what a circumference is. Yes. It's your frame of reference. Yes. Okay. There's always going to be two circumferences. Okay. It's called the pisca viscus. Okay. Yes. Now, when those fucking circumferences interlock, right, or supplement or fucking sub fucking overlay or whatever the fuck, you get that, nigga, that V, nigga, that yoni, nigga, that pussy power, nigga. Right there between them, nigga. Now, how wide it may be, nigga. Now, the closer those two center points, right, those angles, nigga, which is a degree in itself, is 0 degree, nigga. Right? And fucking emanating from that 0 until you get to whatever fucking rim of that circumference is going to be degrees from in between 0 to 360. Now, the edge is 360. Now, you may be spaced out enough from whatever other point of reference to where that rim of 360 is not haven't even overlaid or has not even intersected the rim of the other referencing emanation circumference, right? No matter if it's smaller or larger, or even the equal size. Now you want to have the equal size, right? The equal emanation, yes? The equal, not degrees, not angle, but equal energy, equal entity, yes? Existence, the equal energy, right? Because the energy is going to determine that circumference, right? The energy is what determines that circumference. Yes, that intensity, your skill, right? Which you can then associate, you can then experience through your skill, right? Which is your will, right? Which your will is, you become skilled through your technique, right? And your skill becomes fucking your style through your mastery, right? You feel me? You can't have it. Your style ain't your style until you finish, until you mastered it, until you completed the full revolution, not just the rotations, right? In that cycle, right? Because now you're a master, but now you still got to master your mastering, right? And that involves that other fucking circumference. You dig what I mean? It's going to interchangeably and also as well as simultaneously involve through your growing and decreasing, increasing and ranging and fluctuating those two circumferences, right? The circumferences being the structure of these degrees and angles in reference to degrees, because an angle is what? Is whatever degree it happens to be at the moment, you feel me? In reference to the opposite, to the complementary degree of the relating circumference. You feel me? The reference circumference, the two circumferences. You dig what I'm saying? In this case, for better iteration, for better clarity, or I guess for another example, the two circumferences is skinning a cat and training a dog. In enough ways. However, in whatever degree of skinning a cat, which would be of one circumference, right? That degree is an angle in reference to the opposite or the polar circumference, which would be training a dog. Yes? Now, the same degree or whatever degree of skinning a cat is not always going to be, say for instance, negative 24 degrees of skinning a cat. It's not always going to be negative 24 degrees of training a dog. It may be 24 degrees. It may be 42 degrees. It may be 173 degrees. And it may not even remain 173 degrees. It all depends on the factors, nigga. All the different, 360 different factors. Rotating factors. Okay? The 360 rotating factors. You feel me? That are connected to whatever degree you're focusing on in the angle that you're taking, or that you are exploring that angle. You're now developing that angle, right? You're performing that angle, right? You're learning that angle, basically. And you're mastering this particular circumference, whatever it is, right? There's only so much you can do in whatever it is that you're doing is a part, right? But you're doing everything and anything that you're doing, for one, right? And you're doing anything and everything that you're doing. In that you're doing anything and everything that you're doing, that means that everything you're doing anything. I said, you are doing everything and anything that you are doing. Did you hear me? I said at least I am. I don't know about you. At least I would like to be, but I've compromised in ways that I wouldn't have necessarily even chosen to otherwise. But it was, in fact, that I did make that decision, right? Now, whatever that decision was based on, circumstantially or not, is another angle, okay, in itself. Now that angle may have remained, right? I gotta catch it on that revolution. I have to catch that rotation on that revolution so as to match that fucking angle. Right now, however long that revolution take is different for different things. A revolution may be, for example purposes, for clarity purposes, it's 360 days. Nigga, 365 days is a revolution. Nigga, rotation 24 hours, nigga. Right? Now, see, you're gonna have an angle in that 24 hours, okay? Now, that angle, whether you stay with it or not, or you follow it to whatever other angle to where now it includes many other angles, right? It's only that angle on that particular moment of that day in the span of 360 days, 365 days. Okay? Now, that's what a birthday is, no? That's what a birthday is, huh? Right? So, for example, right? Now, those are your decisions too, you know what I'm saying? Those are your actions, which is an action to decide, right? An action to think, and thoughts lead to your decisions, yes? However, your confirmating action is a degree in reference to degrees, right? It's a degree connecting to a degree, whatever, however fucking mathematical calculus sort of geometric nigga formula I'm referring to. I'm sure it's something that I just probably nigga gave away, nigga, for free, nigga. Right? As far as though angles and degrees, right? Degrees are angles. Angles are degrees, right? But a degree is a degree in itself, even without your angling it. Because in any one full thing, you have to do it fully. That means that it is exploring the degrees of it from 0 to 360, right? And with 0 in 360, with 360 in 0. And all the numbers twisted and turned on itself and bouncing off of each other in between that, right? That means at 12, you able to be at whatever 12 from 360 would be. What 12 from 360 is what, nigga, 48, right? 248, no, 348, right? So that at 12, then we ain't talking about negatives. We ain't talking about negative degrees, nigga, right? From 12 degrees out of the 360 degrees of any particular circumference, skinning a cat, right? You able to also identify with, consider, resonate with, right? 248 degrees, right? Now, I gave you an example because, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, right? But there's also negative 12 though. Right? And there's also negative 348, let alone 349, 350, because that's what 12 more to the full, and 12 is 12 more from the less, or from the start, right? So that means what? In 348, you should be able to reference 360 for all example purposes, because that's an easy example. This is an easy example. Okay? Because we're starting with 0 to 12, right? Which you're starting with 0 in any number, right? And it's beautiful because there's only 360 to work with here in this level. Okay? And that's a blessing, because niggas can hardly work with -1 out this bitch. Right? If you ain't considering, like I said and was saying, 12 before you get to the 12 from where you would go to. Right? Because that's what you call that leverage. Yes? The 12 is the leverage in whatever 12, right? Right? You start with 12. That's your angle. The 12 is the degree. That's the degree. The 12 degrees is your angle. In that angle, or even in the degrees before you get to angles, that's your degree. Yes. That's your degree. We still talking about degrees. Okay, because when you get into angles, then that degree is in reference to a whole nother circumference degree. Right? Because there's never one without both. Right? If anything is anything, it's only what it is not. And that is that not contradictory, but contrasting. That is that complementary, nigga. That's that complementary circumference, nigga. It's exactly everything that it is and what it isn't. Because that's the 360 degrees of any particular anything. Which, as I was saying, anything is everything and everything is anything, right? You're doing everything in anything that you are doing, that you are thinking, that you are saying. In that, everything is any particular thing. Yes, you are doing everything in anything. Enough. We're speaking about enough here, yes? To an enough, you know what I'm saying, of a degree. Now, whatever it is that it is you're going to rock with and roll with, you got to stay with what you start with, yes. But it also incorporates and involves all of everywhere it can go. In this revolving, in this rotating, this rotational revolution. Okay? Now, you're doing everything and anything you're doing in that everything is anything. Okay? I'm gonna say it to you quite clearly and fucking precise to you. You're doing everything, anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about, you feel me, getting away with shit. I'm not talking about, bare minimum. I'm not talking about the easy thing. Brother, whatever it is you're doing is going to become easier, right? Unless you're just satisfied, right? And you have to be very careful with satisfaction. You feel me? Because it's made to work with you or against you, right? It's just a point of reference. It's a degree, satisfaction is. Now, what is the full angle? Is that experience, is that growth. Right? So unless, I hope you follow me, I love you. Unless it is satisfying for you to challenge yourself, to be challenged, then you have to be very careful with satisfaction as far as what is enough to do. Don't get me wrong, you have to start somewhere, but you have to stay with where you start and be mindful of that. Anytime you see where, nigga, your degrees is becoming, or your angles ain't matching the degrees, right? Because whatever it is that you choose, my nigga, a revolution is involved with that, not just a rotation. By tomorrow, nigga, the moon is not the same exact place, nigga, right? Which the moon has to do with the rotation around, or rather the revolution around the rotation, which actually is 16 phases of the moon, not just 13 phases, but, right, because there's a phase in between each major phase. Okay? Now, that's another secret, but it's challenging. So if you're not ready for the challenge, just understand what it is that you're choosing, right? That's a choice you're making. Right, and each choice you're making, it's connected, it's stamping that revolution, not just the rotation, right? And now the revolution of the moon will help you keep things in perspective. Okay, for one. However, whatever that angle is, you get to finding out where you get to doing shit to just make sure you're doing enough. I mean, we can't help it sometimes. You just gotta stay open to these angles, yes? Because the angle happens with degree in reference to degree. The degree is the same every day, right? Every day, even though the sunrise is at a different time, And the sunset is at a different time. Every day at this, and this is better explains what I'm saying to you. Right? At the same time every day is that degree. At the same time every year, which is 360 days, is the angle. Okay? Because, like, for instance, yes, every day at the same time, that's that rotation of 360 degrees in itself. And that's how that zero is in the 360. And the 360 is in the zero. But it's still got to go all the way to 360 in all the numbers, let alone the negative numbers. Okay? Now that comes when you are able to connect 360 times those angles. And that take what? How many? 360 years. That take 360 years in this particular example. Right? We're talking about what you can resonate with, what you are able to understand as far as rotation and revolution. Right? But that's happening every day. That's happening every second. There's years in every second in that sense is what I'm saying to you as far as the degrees and angles of the circumferences of these particular energies. Right? Some are micro, some are macro. Some take more than 360 years, but they're still connected to every fucking moment, no matter what the duration of time you want to put on it. Because this is omnidimensional, right? And time is a mere dimension of experience, right? It's how to master time. It's how to, you feel me, style your techniques off as far as experience, as far as satisfaction, as far as what it is your desire is. Yes, and your passion, right? How do you experience your passion other than through ecstasy, right? Other than through change, yes? So, I mean, this is what I'm speaking on, right? This is what I'm speaking on. You know what I mean? If it don't challenge you, it's not going to change you. I'm going to tell you right now, though, it's going to become challenging to continue to do anything you do because there's all of these different things involved. And sometimes that other circumference is unaware that there's even another circumference that is angled next to, or all the different angles that it is, that each of its degrees and negative degrees correlate with on that particular moment in the revolution. Right? Now, every day you can kind of sense it. There's still that residue as far as that fucking leverage from the day before. If you are in it and fucking open enough to catch the remnant trace of it that next day, let alone the next month, which will be even a cruder residue as opposed to that leverage until it can align on the exact moment, which will be a different minute the next year, but the same minute, second, millisecond, nigga, right? In reference to angles and degrees. And so, nigga, basically, that's how the fucking degrees change, basically, right? They change, they have a range, they have a fucking fluctuation. Nigga, that's how a degree can change based on the angle that the degree particularly is. That you take the degree at, right? But it's going to return, it's going to be the same angle or the same degree. The angle will be the same degree again in the full revolution, whether it's 360 days or 360 seconds, whatever the revolution is and whatever the action is. It's not always fucking the earth going around the sun. Sometimes it's you speaking to your mama. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's, nigga, you wearing the color fucking orange. You feel me? It's like it offsets different angles. You know what I mean? Imagine you wear orange every day, nigga. That's actually going to have an effect on other things that you would never even expect for it to have fucking effects on, nigga. And it's just that simple. Imagine it, nigga. Just imagine you wore orange every day, nigga. You wouldn't have the same life that you would have, nigga, if you didn't wear orange every day, okay? Your chakras couldn't even balance if you was to wear orange every day? If you wore orange every day, then yes, that angle will remain the same. That angle will then draw every other angle to it. At least will open up your recognition most clearest, because then you're still focused on that angle. Right? It's going to show you that angle in every other degree. It's going to show you that degree in every other degree. Right? And it's also going to reveal the different angles of which degrees connect and the different circumferences in your actions, right? In the energies in what it is, your environment. Yes? Okay, and atmosphere is what I'm saying to you. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And the more you do, the more angling you're able to do. You know what I'm saying? That degree gonna stay that degree the longer you're angled on it. But you gotta be doing angling. Okay? And able to connect those degrees in what is called synchronization. Right? Because whatever the revolution of this other fucking circumference is, it may not be the same revolution. And I would imagine it wouldn't. I mean, these are two different bodies. No two bodies revolve the exact same way. No matter how essential to each other they may be. Kind of like Sirius A and Sirius B. Right? The sun and the moon. They have their own revolution. The sun in itself is a star revolving around a black hole, which is the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And we revolve around that. But those are the two circumferences, no? That's the two circumferences. But then we also have a moon that revolves around us. And we have our own relationship or angling to do between those two circumferences. In relation to the angling we're doing between the two circumferences, that is the sun and the moon. Yes? So the moon and the sun also have their own angling. And that's where you get a triangle. That's where you get a triangle from. That's where you get triangulation from, which is the positioning of any particular thing. It's triangulation. Literally speaking. Okay? These are all moving at different speeds. These are all different and moving in different fucking circumferences, right? But they are the same in that they have a circumference to begin with. Okay? And that is the relatability. That's the challenge, is aligning that. You know what I'm saying? Allowing yourself to be as natural as possible. Allowing yourself to be as natural as possible, so that it makes more sense without you having to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because thought is one thing, but will is another thing. And it takes will to even think. Right? You only got so much willpower, but in charging your willpower through this triangulating that we're always doing, regardless of whether it is we're using it to our advantage or to our benefit or not, or utilizing it or not, we're charging that willpower. You know what I'm saying? And so the challenges become part of the activity at that point. Be satisfied with growth. Be satisfied with growth. Okay? It's a part.